5 signs your love life is under spiritual attack. Don't ignore. You've tried everything: therapy, communication, dating differently. But your love life keeps falling apart in the same ways. Same patterns, different people. It's like something is working against you. And maybe something is. When negative patterns repeat despite your best efforts, when relationships are destroyed by forces that feel bigger than normal problems, when your love life feels cursed, you might be experiencing spiritual attack. By the end of this video, you'll know the 5 signs that distinguish normal relationship challenges from spiritual interference in your love life, and why ignoring these signs keeps you trapped in the same destructive cycles. Sign 1. Patterns repeat across all relationships despite different partners. The clearest sign of spiritual attack on your love life is when the exact same destructive patterns repeat across multiple relationships with completely different people. You keep attracting the same type of toxic partner. Relationships end for the same reasons. The same specific issues arise regardless of who you're with. When patterns persist despite changing every external variable, something spiritual is at play. Look at your relationship history. Every relationship follows the same script. Starts hopeful, same problems emerge, ends the same way. You attract different people who somehow all manifest identical toxic behaviors. The specificity of the pattern is striking. Not just bad relationships, but the exact same issues playing out. Random chance doesn't create identical patterns across unrelated people. Spiritual patterns do. Notice that you've done the work, but nothing changes. You've been to therapy, worked on yourself, changed your approach, but the pattern persists. You're self-aware. You recognize the issues, yet they keep manifesting anyway. The pattern feels bigger than your conscious choices or psychological work. When human effort consistently fails to break a pattern, spiritual forces are maintaining it. Psychological growth can't break spiritual attacks. Spiritual solutions are needed. Watch the timing. Relationships fall apart at the same point every time. 3 months, 1 year, right before commitment. Good relationships are destroyed right when things are progressing towards something serious. The timing feels orchestrated, like something is intervening at critical junctures. Spiritual attacks often manifest as sabotage at threshold moments. External forces seem to conspire against your relationships. Third parties appear to sabotage things. Exes return at the worst times. Unexpected events consistently destroy promising relationships. It feels like the universe is actively preventing you from finding love. When external sabotage is consistent across relationships, spiritual interference is active. And critically, you feel spiritually drained from romantic relationships. Every relationship leaves you energetically depleted, not just emotionally exhausted. You feel something pulling life force, peace, or spiritual vitality from you. The drain feels vampiric, like something is feeding off your romantic energy. For 15 years, Monica experienced the same pattern. She'd meet a man, things would be amazing for 3 to 4 months, then suddenly he'd become distant, pull away, and end things, always with the same vague explanation that something didn't feel right. Different men, different backgrounds, different circumstances, but always the same pattern and timeline. Monica went to therapy, worked on attachment issues, changed her dating approach. Nothing worked. A spiritual counselor told her, "This isn't psychological. Something is spiritually blocking you from moving past the 3-month mark into deep commitment." After spiritual cleansing and breaking the pattern through prayer and energy work, Monica's next relationship moved past 3 months easily. The psychological work hadn't broken the pattern. The spiritual work did. Something had been spiritually sabotaging her love life at the same threshold for over a decade. So recognize it's not just you. Stop blaming yourself for patterns that transcend your control. Seek spiritual guidance. Work with spiritual counselors, energy healers, or pray for revelation about spiritual blockages. Research family history for love life patterns that may be generational curses. Engage in spiritual cleansing to remove negative attachments through prayer, energy clearing, or spiritual practices. Learn spiritual protection practices specifically for romantic relationships. Sign 2. Sudden destruction of healthy relationships for no logical reason. Spiritual attack often manifests as sudden, inexplicable destruction of healthy relationships. Everything is going well. Communication is good, connection is strong, both people are happy, then suddenly, without logical reason, the relationship implodes. Your partner abruptly changes, unexpected events destroy the relationship, or one person is suddenly compelled to end things despite everything being good. Watch for abrupt personality changes in your partner. Your partner suddenly becomes a different person, cold, distant, aggressive, without explanation. The change is dramatic and doesn't match their previous character or your relationship history. They can't explain why they changed. They just suddenly felt different. Sudden, unexplained personality shifts can indicate spiritual influence or interference. Notice compulsive relationship destruction. You or your partner feel compelled to destroy the relationship despite knowing it's good. There's an irrational urge to sabotage, leave, or create problems where none existed. The compulsion feels external, like something is pushing you to end things. When you're destroying something good and don't understand why, spiritual attack creates compulsions. Third parties appear with suspicious timing. Exes suddenly reappear right when your current relationship is thriving. New people appear offering temptation right at commitment moments. The timing is too precise to be coincidence. Spiritual attacks often manifest through human agents who appear at strategic moments. Catastrophic events target your relationship specifically. Unexpected disasters, illnesses, or crises specifically target the relationship. The obstacles feel specifically designed to end the relationship. When obstacles are relationship-specific and don't affect other life areas equally, spiritual targeting is occurring. And critically, both people feel external pressure they can't explain. Both partners feel like something is pushing against the relationship. There's a sense of spiritual heaviness, resistance, or opposition to your union. You both recognize something feels off spiritually, even though the relationship itself is healthy. James and Sarah had the healthiest relationship either had ever experienced. Communication was open, values aligned, both families supported them, they were planning engagement. Then suddenly, Sarah started feeling intense anxiety about the relationship. She couldn't explain it, nothing had changed, James hadn't done anything wrong, but she felt overwhelming dread. At the same time, James's ex-girlfriend, who hadn't contacted him in 3 years, suddenly started reaching out constantly with emergencies. Sarah's anxiety escalated into panic attacks whenever she thought about the future with James. Within 2 weeks of being the happiest she'd ever been, Sarah ended the relationship, telling James, "Something feels wrong and I don't know why." Years later, Sarah told a spiritual counselor about it. The counselor said, "You were under spiritual attack. Something didn't want you to have that relationship." Looking back, Sarah realized the anxiety had felt external, not from her own mind. A healthy relationship had been destroyed by spiritual forces they didn't recognize or know how to fight. So recognize sudden destruction as potential attack. Don't just accept it didn't work out when nothing logical explains the ending. Pray for protection over the relationship. Actively request spiritual protection for your partnership. Discern compulsions. Ask whether destructive urges are truly your will or external spiritual influence. Use spiritual authority to command interference to cease. And fight for healthy relationships. When something is good, don't let unexplained forces destroy it without spiritual resistance.
Sign 3. You experience spiritual manifestations during relationship events. Sometimes spiritual attack isn't subtle. It manifests directly as spiritual experiences during relationship events. Nightmares about the relationship when things are going well. Sleep paralysis or spiritual oppression during relationship milestones. Sensing dark presence or negative energy specifically around romantic situations. Physical manifestations like sudden illness before dates or commitment moments. Watch for nightmares and dark dreams about the relationship. Recurring nightmares about your partner betraying, hurting, or leaving you, even when the relationship is healthy. Dreams feel spiritually dark, not like normal anxiety dreams. Dreams plant seeds of doubt, fear, and mistrust in your mind. Spiritual attacks often work through the dream realm to create fear and division. Notice sleep paralysis or oppression during relationship milestones. You experience sleep paralysis, spiritual oppression, or a sense of evil presence, specifically around dates, commitment talks, or relationship progression. The timing correlation between spiritual oppression and relationship events is too consistent to ignore. You feel spiritually attacked right when the relationship is about to deepen. Watch for physical illness before important relationship moments. Sudden sickness before dates, meeting family, commitment conversations. The illness timing is suspiciously aligned with relationship progression. Medical explanations don't fully explain the pattern. Spiritual attack can manifest physically to prevent relationship advancement. You might sense dark presence or negative energy around the relationship. You feel spiritual heaviness, darkness, or oppressive energy, specifically when thinking about or engaging with romantic relationships. You sense something actively opposing your love life. Other spiritually sensitive people sense the same darkness around your relationships. And supernatural events occur around relationship moments. Electronics malfunction during important relationship conversations. Objects break or unusual events happen at relationship milestones. Spiritual phenomena, unexplained sounds, movements, presences increase during relationship events. Every time Marcus and Jennifer tried to have the future talk, something bizarre would happen. Jennifer's phone would die despite being fully charged. Marcus would suddenly get intensely nauseous. Once, a light fixture fell during the conversation. Jennifer started having recurring nightmares of Marcus cheating, dreams so vivid she'd wake up angry at him for things he hadn't done. The nightmares always followed the same pattern. He'd betray her, she'd be devastated, she'd see a dark figure watching them. Jennifer mentioned it to a friend who was spiritually sensitive. The friend said, "Something doesn't want you two together. You're under spiritual attack." Jennifer and Marcus began praying together specifically for protection over their relationship. The manifestations stopped. The nightmares ended. They were able to commit without supernatural interference. Looking back, they realized dark forces had been actively working against their union through spiritual manifestations they initially dismissed as coincidence. So don't dismiss spiritual experiences. Take supernatural manifestations seriously. Pray specifically against spiritual attack. Command dark forces to leave your relationship alone. Spiritually cleanse your space to remove negative energy from your home. Use prayer, visualization, or protective symbols to shield yourself. And if manifestations are severe, get help from spiritual authority figures for deliverance. Sign 4. Negative words, curses, or ill will spoken over your love life. Words carry spiritual power. When negative declarations, curses, or ill will are spoken over your love life by family members, jilted exes, jealous people, or even yourself, those words can create spiritual reality that manifests as relationship destruction. If your love life started failing after someone spoke negatively over it, their words may have created spiritual barriers to healthy love. Watch for family curses or negative declarations. Parents, grandparents, or family members spoke negatively over your romantic future. You'll never find anyone. You'll end up alone. You're not meant for love. Family patterns of failed marriages or love life dysfunction feel generational. Generational curses and parental declarations carry significant spiritual weight. Words from authority figures like parents have spiritual power to create reality. Notice curses from jilted exes or rejected people. An ex who didn't want the breakup spoke words of curse. You'll never be happy. I hope all your relationships fail. No one will ever love you the way I did. You'll regret leaving me for the rest of your life. Someone you rejected became bitter and spoke ill over your romantic future. You sensed spiritual malice in their words, not just emotional hurt. Pay attention to jealousy and envy from others. People around you are jealous of your romantic possibilities and don't want you to succeed. You sense that others secretly wish for your relationships to fail. Friends or family members aren't genuinely happy when you find love. They're envious. Envy creates negative energy and spiritual opposition to your blessings. And critically, examine self-fulfilling prophecies and negative self-declarations. You've repeatedly declared negative things over your own love life. I'm cursed in love. I'll never find anyone. All my relationships fail. Your words about your love life have been predominantly negative. Your own words carried the most power over your life. Negative self-declarations create negative spiritual realities. After Elena broke up with Antonio, he was devastated. In his pain, he told her, "You'll never be happy. I curse you. No man will ever love you the way I did. You'll regret leaving me for the rest of your life." Elena dismissed it as an emotional outburst. But over the next 5 years, every relationship Elena entered fell apart mysteriously. Men who seemed perfect suddenly lost interest. Good relationships imploded without explanation. Elena started believing she was cursed. Finally, she went to a spiritual counselor who specialized in breaking curses. The counselor said, "Someone spoke death over your love life. Those words have spiritual power." Elena went through a process of breaking the curse through prayer and spiritual authority. Within months, she met someone and the relationship progressed healthily, something that hadn't happened in 5 years. Antonio's words had created a spiritual reality that manifested as repeated relationship failure. Breaking the curse spiritually allowed love to flow naturally again. So identify negative words spoken over you. Recall if anyone cursed, spoke negatively, or declared failure over your love life. Break curses through spiritual authority using prayer, declaration, or spiritual practice to nullify curses. Renounce your own negative declarations. Verbally take back negative things you said about your love life. Speak life over your romantic future. Intentionally declare positive outcomes. And forgive those who cursed you to release them spiritually so their words lose power. And before we get to the final sign, if this video is helping you recognize spiritual warfare in your love life, hit that subscribe button. We expose hidden patterns in relationships, including the spiritual ones most people miss. Now let's talk about the last sign.
Sign 5. You feel spiritually blocked or disconnected from love energy. The final sign is internal. You feel spiritually blocked from experiencing or receiving love. It's not just difficulty finding partners, it's a deep spiritual sense that something is preventing love from reaching you. You feel disconnected from your own heart, unable to feel or express love naturally. Like there's a spiritual wall between you and romantic connection. Notice inability to feel love or connection. You're emotionally numb in romantic contexts, can't feel love even when you want to. You're disconnected from your own heart and capacity for romantic feeling. The numbness feels spiritual, not just psychological. Spiritual attack can create barriers within your heart that prevent love from flowing. Watch for fear of love that feels spiritual rather than psychological. Deep terror of romantic love that goes beyond normal fear of vulnerability. The fear feels ancient, bigger than this lifetime, spiritually rooted. You sense the fear is being imposed on you rather than naturally arising. Spiritual attacks create fear to prevent you from experiencing love's healing power. You might sense being spiritually bound or blocked. You feel spiritually tied to past relationships in unhealthy ways, soul ties that prevent new love. There's a sense of spiritual bondage preventing romantic freedom. You feel like something is literally blocking love from entering your life. Soul ties, spiritual attachments, and negative covenants create literal spiritual blockages to new love. Notice loss of life force or vitality around romance. Romantic possibilities drain your energy rather than energizing you. You feel depleted, exhausted, or dead inside regarding love. Your life force seems to weaken specifically in romantic contexts. When love consistently drains rather than feeds you, something is vampirically feeding on your romantic energy. And you experience spiritual disconnection that worsens with romantic involvement. You feel disconnected from God, Source, or higher self when pursuing romantic relationships. Romantic involvement makes you feel spiritually heavy, guilty, or separated from spiritual life. You can't maintain spiritual practices and romantic relationships simultaneously. Spiritual attack creates false dichotomy between love and spirituality to keep you isolated. Tyler couldn't understand why he felt nothing. He wanted to love his girlfriend. She was perfect for him on paper. But emotionally, he felt completely numb. No matter how much he tried, he couldn't access feelings of love. It wasn't just her. Tyler had felt this way in every relationship since his first heartbreak at 19. It was like that heartbreak had closed off his heart permanently. A spiritual counselor told Tyler, "Your heart is spiritually damaged." That first heartbreak created a trauma bond and soul tie to that person. Your heart has been spiritually locked to her for 15 years, unable to open to anyone new. Tyler went through a process of breaking soul ties, healing heart damage, and removing spiritual blockages. Afterward, for the first time in 15 years, Tyler could feel love again. The numbness wasn't psychological, it was spiritual. Something had blocked his capacity to give and receive love at the soul level. Spiritual healing restored what years of therapy hadn't been able to touch. So, identify soul ties and break them. Spiritually sever unhealthy bonds to past partners. Pray for heart healing. Ask for spiritual restoration of your capacity to love. Work with energy healers or spiritual counselors to clear blockages. Forgive past hurts at soul level to release trauma that has created spiritual barriers. And invite love energy back in. Intentionally open yourself spiritually to receive and give love again. If you're recognizing these signs and wondering if your current partner might be spiritually draining you, watch our next video on the 5 signs your partner is spiritually draining you, the energy vampire. Understanding if someone in your life is depleting your spiritual energy could explain a lot about what you're experiencing. The link's in the description. If you recognized multiple signs in your love life, understand this: you're not cursed in love because something is wrong with you. You're under attack because love is powerful, transformative, and healing. And dark forces don't want you to experience that power. Recognizing spiritual attack isn't about paranoia or making excuses. It's about fighting on the right battlefield. If your love life is under spiritual attack, psychological solutions alone won't fix it. You need spiritual solutions for spiritual problems. Look at your love life honestly. Are the patterns too consistent to be random? Has something felt off spiritually about your relationships? Have you experienced things that psychology can't fully explain? If so, it's time to address your love life from a spiritual perspective, not just emotional or psychological. You can't win a spiritual battle with only physical weapons. If this video helped you recognize spiritual warfare in your love life, subscribe to this channel. We expose hidden patterns in relationships, including the spiritual ones most people miss. Comment below which sign you recognized, or if you've experienced spiritual attack in your love life and overcame it, share your story. It might help someone else understand what they're facing. Don't just recognize the attack, fight back spiritually. Pray, seek spiritual counsel, break curses, cleanse your energy, and protect your love life with spiritual authority. Your love life matters. You're meant to experience deep, healthy, transformative love. If spiritual forces are attacking that possibility, Fight back. Use spiritual weapons, prayer, faith, spiritual authority, energy clearing, whatever aligns with your spiritual path. Don't let dark forces steal what's meant for you. Fight for your love life in the spiritual realm, and watch things shift in the physical realm.